going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings star safety, linebacker, corner, nebulous defensive player, defensive weapon. Ooh, I like that one. Josh Metellus really has been an in-house success story. 6th-round pick in 2020 out of Michigan. Back in the day. Hail to the and he's risen on up from special teams dude to starter to playing more positions than your mama, and it really is fantastic. And last year, second on the team in tackles, first in the league among safeties in pressures, and Flores has him lined up at the line of scrimmage, blitzing, dropping back, all of that stuff, 87 PFF tackling grade, 2 picks, 5 passes broken up, and he truly is everywhere. Like, half of his snaps are down in the box. He's the man in the box, and he's greatly outperformed his contract. And we talked about how this is very similar to what the Vikings did with Theo Jackson, signing him to a 2-year deal, a team-friendly deal, ahead of assuming a starting job. It's what the Vikings did with Metellus. And obviously, he's outperformed his deal just heading into the thick THICC of his prime. And for me, this is a no-brainer. You know, shut up and take our money, shut up and take our jelly beans, and go from there. And Metellus, there had been initial reports that maybe there was a hold-in going on, but it's not really the case. He was out there performing in 11-on-11, but not 7-on-7 in mandatory minicamp, and he's said all the right things about his contract. Talked about how his agent Drew Rosenhaus and the Vikings and Kwesi will take care of things, and I'm sure that something will get done, right? Because it's very straightforward. Right, Kwesi and the Vikings and Flores, they obviously see Metellus as a major part of this defense. Metellus, for his part, has said that he wants to be here, and there isn't any agitation on social media. There isn't any cryptic messages. There isn't time for a new beginning, all that stuff. And also, with Kwesi, too, you have to respect the way that Kwesi's handled some of the contract situations, right? Maybe Daniil was the only one that sort of got away, but that still ended amicably. But the whole Kirk Cousins thing, it was like, hey, this is how much we'll pay you. If you can get more, go get it. That's exactly what happened. Also, the Jefferson extension was a masterclass where you would think that the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history at the time, that there would be sniping and hurt feelings during the negotiation, but there wasn't. Same thing with Darrisaw. So I think that you do have to give Kwesi a lot of props, because it's very clear that this isn't a team hardline situation. Like, this isn't Jerry Jones and the Cowboys where Kwesi feels like he has to win the negotiation. I feel like there's a mutual respect between the team and the player, and they come to an agreement. And, I mean, respect in negotiations goes a long way. All right, and I think that this one will end up perfectly fine. Long story longer, Vikes fan page. Both Josh Metellus and the Vikings have mutual interest in contract extension, and Alec Lewis of The Athletic has a pretty good amount of optimism that things will work out the way both sides want them to. Talked about on the Alec Lewis show. Lewis also mentioned he wouldn't be surprised if a deal happens before training camp. I think that's something out of the NFL team's playbook. Spielman did this too, where, hey, start off training camp with some good news, a fan favorite gets extended, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen with Metellus. And meow, I'm going to guesstimate that he ends up making 16, 17 million per year. I think he'll get a touch higher than Cam Beasley-Bynum got with the Colts, 15 million per with 32 guaranteed. I think that he'll be slightly above Trevin Moehrig, who went to the Panthers this offseason. Budda Baker, who got extended with the Cardinals. I think he'll be in the 17 million per year range, 17 and a quarter somewhere in there. Probably a 3-year extension on top of this one. So I think that the Vikings and Metellus are pretty close. He's going to get taken care of, and it'll be no drama. And as we said, it's fantastic. Where that's always stressful on a team, because it forces you to pick sides. It forces you to pick the team or the player that you want to see rewarded. The Vikings have the cap space. They have the motivation. They have the means, motivation, and as I cough and die. And they certainly are going to get things done. So I'm not too worried about this. It's something that we may not have actual tangible news on it until the start of training camp on July 26th, but wouldn't shock me at all if that's like the first news item. Metellus extended. 3-year deal, $51 million, somewhere in that ballpark. But your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings, Metellus, optimism in getting a long-term deal done. Good. Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.